Hello everyone, it's Michelle Lupton here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you one of a bunch of cards that I made using the new Hero Arts Joanne's kit for Christmas in July. So it has the Holiday Ornaments clear stamp set and matching frame cuts. It has the Buffalo check pattern bold prints. It has some ink, so it has the intensified black ink and clear embossing and watermark ink. And then it also has a little container of gold embossing powder. Then it has this awesome bunch of bright colours of cardstock. So there's cherry, azalea, kiwi, bright green and turquoise. And there's also two packets, one of white note cards and one of white envelopes. So heaps and heaps there for you to make a bunch of Christmas cards with. Always good to get making your Christmas cards early in the year so that you're not so stressed out later on in the year. So I've actually made a couple of cards, and you can actually have a look at the video that's on the Hero Arts YouTube channel, and you'll see the other cards that I made. But I just wanted to show you how I made one of these cards, and I'm actually creating a whole bunch of cardstock strips. Now I'm just taking some printer paper and cutting it down into a little panel. And what I'm going to do is create a stripy panel using these strips of cardstock and the printer paper. And I'm going to cut some of these ornaments out of it. So what I'm doing is I'm using this piece of paper as a guide to lay out my ornaments. Now, it doesn't really matter that the ornaments, the arrangement of the ornaments in, because that's not what they're going to look like on my card. I want them all to be facing in the same direction on my card so that all stripes sort of, they won't exactly line up, but at least they'll be going in the same direction. So I've just lined up the stamps so they're all facing vertically on this piece. And now I'm putting the cardstock strips on a diagonal. So not quite a 45-degree angle, but it doesn't really matter what the actual angle is, but I'm lining them up. I decided what order I thought they would look good in, but honestly, these colours, you can put them in any order you like, and they're going to look good together. They're just so bright and happy and colourful and Christmassy. So I just kept on doing this over and over again. I just covered my paper sheet with just tape runner adhesive. Now I'm just cutting off the excess on the edge, and that's just so that I can line up this right angled corner back into my MISTI where I've got those stamps. So when it's all lined up into my MISTI, I'm just going to put my magnet there to hold it in place. And now I'm adding the watermark ink onto the ornaments, and I'll be stamping them straight onto those that stripy panel. So I want to make sure that I get really, really good coverage, because sometimes when you're stamping onto a panel that you've created with a whole lot of different pieces of cardstock, you can get little gaps in your stamping, and I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to make sure that there was plenty of ink coverage there. So I'm just grabbing my, I've just got a dry rag here, and it helps me sort of move my hand over my MISTI to make sure I get really, really good pressure. All right, so now I've done that, I can take that off and add my gold embossing powder. Now, when you've got a piece like this, it actually bends quite easily because of course, those pieces, the strips of cardstock, are not attached to each other than by printer paper, and printer paper is not that sturdy. So I had a bit of difficulty actually holding it in place while I was heat embossing, but we got there eventually, and it was all good. Okay, so now I've got those ornaments, and you can see they're all lined up in the same direction, so all of them have got these coloured stripes going in the same direction. And I'm taking the matching dies, so the frame cuts that match these stamps, and just adding them around the embossing. And I'm going to add all of those, and I'm just sticking them down with a little bit of masking tape. And now I'm going to add them to my card front. Now, the sentiment on this card is going to be really, really simple. I just stamped the sentiment in some black ink, and then just cut it out as a rectangle, so nothing really complicated there. But with these ornaments, I wanted to add just something to ground them because they're just floating in space at the moment. So I grabbed out my T-square ruler and a gold gel pen. Now you could do this with any pen you like. And I added a gold sort of string that the ornaments are hanging from. Okay, so now that all those strings are added, all I need to do is to add my sentiment. I popped it up on a little bit of foam adhesive, and there's my card. So I hope you enjoyed. If you want a little bit more detail, go and have a look at the Hero Arts YouTube channel and find out more about this kit from Joann's. Bye.